Hi there. Welcome back to Spring into Math 7. I'm Mrs. Campbell, and today we're going to be talking about finding the sums of integers, or more simply put, adding positive and negative numbers. So this lesson is broken into 3 sections. Today we're going to be talking about section 1, finding the sums of integers on a number line. Let's jump in. Okay, so in our last video, we spent some time talking about absolute value and how absolute value has to do with positive and negative integers, and that positive integers were those integers that fell to the right of the 0 on the number line, and negative integers were those numbers that fell to the left of the 0 on the number line and were negative in value. Okay, so just to kind of give you an overview of where we're headed, today we're going to talk about finding the sums of integers, on a number line. And we're going to talk about adding positive and positive, a positive number to a positive number, a negative number to a negative number, and then how do we add when we have different signs, positive and negative. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. And then over the next 2 videos, we'll be talking about adding integers using absolute value. And then finally, we'll be talking about evaluating variable expressions involving integer addition. Okay, so finding sums of positive integers is actually really simple when you're adding a positive number to a positive number. Basically, it's just math, the same math that you've been doing since you were in kindergarten or 1st grade. Let's take a look at our little guy on our number line here. If he starts on 0 and he walks forward 4 steps, he's on 4. He's on positive 4. And then if we add 6 more steps, where does he end up? He ends up on positive 10. Pretty simple. The same basic math that you've been doing forever. A positive plus a positive will be a positive. Okay. Similarly, when you're adding negative integers, it's basically the same premise, but think of your little guy on your number line walking backwards. Okay. So if he starts off on a 0, and he walks back 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, he's at negative 4. This problem is telling us to add negative 6 or have him walk back 6 more spaces. So now where is he? He is at negative 10. So negative 4 plus negative 6 is negative 10. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated when we're talking about, or it seems more complicated, it's actually not, when we're talking about adding a negative integer to a positive or a positive integer to a negative integer, and it's really not that complicated, especially when you're using smaller numbers that you can plot out on a number line. So let's take a look at our little guy now. If he is starting on 0, and this problem down here tells us we're going to send him forward 4 steps, or positive 4, plus negative 6. And now he's going to go back 6 steps. Where does he end up? He ends up at negative 2. So positive 4 plus a negative 6, or forward 4 and backward 6, will lead you to, or lead our little guy to, negative 2. Similarly, maybe you have the positive number first. The negative number first. In this case, the problem is telling us to have our little guy go back 4 steps first. He starts off on 0. Notice how his face is always facing in the positive, to the positive side of the number line. He's going to go back 4 steps, or negative 4, plus forward 6 steps. Where does he end up? Using a number line, we can see he ends up on positive 2. All right, why don't you give it a try? Try practicing adding positive and negative numbers. Try negative 5 plus negative 8, negative 9 plus negative 3, and negative 9 plus 12. If you want to stop your video, feel free and come on back and show me what you've gotten. Good luck. How'd you do? I'm sure you did great. Okay, the answer for number 1, -5 plus -8 is -13. Now those numbers are small enough that you could have easily plotted it on a number line and just moved your pencil back 13 places. How about the next one? How'd you do on -9 plus 3? Did you get -6? Good. How about -9 plus 12? I'm sure you got a 3. Great job. So tomorrow, in the next video, we're going to be talking about how to add 2 or more integers using absolute value. Now, this is going to be really important for you, a really important skill, because sometimes you're going to be using numbers that are a lot bigger than 5 or 9 or 10. You may not want to be plotting back a -500 on a number line. So understanding how to use absolute value when you're adding integers will be a great help. So join us next time when we talk about how to add integers using absolute value. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.